Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning, especially to our panel, Prof. IR Dr. Zainal Abidin bin Kadir and Associate Professor Dr. IR Abdul Rahim bin Abdullah. My name is Ahmad Zaidi bin Abdullah from School of Electrical Engineering System, University of Malaysia Police. Under supervision Associate Professor TS Dr. Muzami Isa, Dr. Muhammad Nur Khairul Hafizi bin Rohani and Associate Professor Dr. Haziah binti Abdul Hamid. Today I will present my thesis with the title On-Site Measurement for Partial Discharge Characterization using a Rogowski coil for insulation condition monitoring in medium voltage power cable. I divide my presentation into 9 parts, which is introduction, problem statement, objective, scope of work, literature review, research methodology, result, contribution and future recommendation. For introduction, nowadays electrical utility are focusing on modernizing of power distribution system in order to enhance the energy grid in terms of reliability and effectiveness and also the security. But following to the bar chart, we found that they still have a breakdown. And following to the Energy Commission also 2017, we find out that with a green color, it shows that the most breakdown happen in medium voltage. So that's why this project will focus on medium voltage. And when we go further at the same statistic, we will find out that the equipment, the highest percentage equipment failure in medium voltage is cable with 81% compared to the others component. And the best part is we know that one of the main causes of cable failure is partial discharge, and the good thing is partial discharge can be detected earlier by the measurement. So from that, this project will focus on partial discharge in power cable in medium voltage. Problem statement number 1 for the insulation degradation. We know that when the partial discharge occur in the cable or in insulation, it will degrade it, and then it will contribute to the breakdown the whole system. So this is it will affect whole system. And then number 2, the sensor selection. In order to get effective measurement, it require a very good sensor. And we know that currently they have a lot of type sensor, such as HFCT, coupling capacitor, TEV, OWTS and so on. But most of the sensor is bulky, expensive, and most of them also require offline system to install the sensor. Okay, number 3, the noise interference. We know that every partial discharge measurement will interfere by the surrounding noise. So we need to extract it from the pure signal, because we don't want to get a wrong signal. And then the correct PD signal. After denoising, we still do not know or not sure is it a correct partial discharge signal or another signal. So that's why we need to do the characterization of the signal after the denoising. In this project, they have 3 objectives, which is number 1, to develop and perform an on-site partial discharge measurement using a Rogowski coil for power cable in 11 kV power cable, 11 kV medium voltage. And then number 2, to develop partial discharge denoising technique based on signal processing algorithm using discrete wavelet transform. And number 3, to determine the partial discharge signal characterization based on on-site measurement for medium voltage power cable. This is the scope of work this project, which is divide by 6. So firstly is for on-site measurement. The measurement will set up in Unimap campus PAU, where the location for measurement is selected based on insulation resistance test report provided by maintenance unit, and then it also will refer to the standard of IEC 60270. For the equipment, it will use 4 GHz high frequency oscilloscope, which is a brand Licroy, and for the sensor used in measurement is a Rogowski coil rectangular type that has been developed by our own. And for the simulation, this was performed under 3 software, which is MATLAB Coding, MATLAB Simulink, and ATP AMTP software. And then for the characteristic, there are 4 characteristics that has been performed for the PD signal, including of rise time, zero crossing, peak amplitude versus time to peak, and also the resonant frequency. And for the denoising, in this project we have select the discrete wavelet transform technique for denoising, and the analysis for the denoising is under signal to noise ratio, and we select the value based on minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation for detailed analysis. And then, for the last one, the comparison is made between proposed method, which is using a Rogowski coil, with the utility component method or TMB result measurement, in order to find out the trend. Okay, for the literature review, following to the IEC 60270 standard, the partial discharge is a localized dielectric breakdown of a small portion of a solid electrical insulation system under high voltage thrust. PD detection. Based on the latest review, it was found out right now there are a lot of type detection, including of chemical, thermal, optical, acoustic, UHF, and coupling capacitor, and also Rogowski coil. And from all of this, we find out that the Rogowski coil have a potential to be explored more. Okay. The on-site measurement, based on previous researcher, they have proven that by the measurement on-site, it can extend the lifespan of the equipment, and also the process of detection, location, and summarize the identification of the partial discharge can be get it from the measurement. The Rogowski coil actually was invented earlier 1912 by the Walter Rogowski, and from the review also we have find out that the Rogowski coil to become a sensor is have a lot of advantage, including it have a frequency response with a wide range, and high signal to noise ratio, and no saturation due to air core, and then it have a good linearity, and the best part is a low cost solution. Okay, for the denoising, following to the Luo and Zhang, it said that noise in the signal can be removed and without affecting the signal. So that's why we need to do the denoising. And then previous researcher also said that Simulink and Dolby Cheese are the best preferable muzzle wavelet for denoising. But in this work, we will find out which one is the best. And then under characteristic, the rise time waveform found that the shortest time will shows that the severe of the partial discharge. And then zero crossing characteristic can a powerful tool in order to characterize the input signal, while the resonant frequency proven capable to provide a lot of information for the signal that have been detected. In this project also, we have a review or use several partial discharge technical standard, including of IEC 60270, IEE, and also SIGRE, which is all of these standard we used to be a guidance during the process of measurement, and also guidance for the result, the determination. And then the bibliography of a partial discharge also has been performed under Atlas TI software, which is from the latest 5 years journal. We find out that partial discharge measurement is a popular topic right now. Okay, methodology. To complete this work, it have 4 stages to complete it, which is partial discharge modeling, partial discharge on-site measurement, partial discharge denoising, and lastly partial discharge characterization. So the modeling actually start using by using ATP NTP simulation modeling. After we got the result by modeling and approve it, and then we perform the on-site measurement. And then from the result on-site measurement, we perform the denoising in order to get a pure signal. And after that, from the denoising signal, we perform the characterization in order to get the pattern and the range of the characterization of partial discharge that has been detected. So now I will present my methodology and result and also outcome by stages. I hope panel can follow it. Okay, now we go to the stage number 1, which is partial discharge modeling. So the modeling is performed under ATP MTP software, which is the network drawn, as we can see at slide, is taken by the actual site, which is Unimap site, which is this shows the layout cable routing at site, and also we follow also the schematic of the 11 kV and Unimap, and then we transfer into the network model under ATP MTP for simulation. In the modeling also, we have a model the PD pass, which is using tag control, and then we inject the partial discharge pulse into the network at this location. We can see the network, and then they also model of a Rogowski coil, which is a 3-phase type, and then from that we have locate the Rogowski coil model into 4 locations in that network in order to find out the capability of the sensor to detect the PD pass signal. And number 5 shows the MATLAB simulating model, which is was developed in order to convert the result from the modeling and also MATLAB result into the Pico column or apparent charge, which is this is the requirement of IEC standard, where the output of the partial discharge is measured on partial discharge. Measure in apparent charge or Pico column. Okay, this is the result for modeling, which is number 1. We can see that this is the output of PD pulse that has been injected into the network. So the result shows is the output for PD pulse is about 3.2 volt. So number 2 shows the waveform before and after we inject the PD pulse into the network. You can see that before we inject the PD pulse, there was a pure sinusoidal, and then when we inject the PD pulse, there was a distract by we can see that the upper there here it was distracted by partial discharge pulse. So that means the Rogowski coil that has been modeled are capable to detect the partial discharge. So from that, the Rogowski coil was placed into 4 locations at the network, and this is the result for at 4 locations that has been located, and we found that all locations have able to detect but different amplitude based on the distance. So table 4 shows the detailed result for the location of Rogowski coil, and then we find out that the nearest sensor to the PD pulse or PD source will produce the highest amplitude and time domain or frequency domain. So that means this sensors design are capable to be used and ready to be used in the on-site measurement. And this is the research output on modeling that has been published in Scopus Journal and Proceeding. Now we go to the stage number 2, which is on-site measurement. So the on-site measurement was based on standard IEC 60270, and then the on-site measurement was performed under 3 conditions, which is number 1 is performed by the experimental, where it was performed at a high voltage lab in Unimed, where we measure the cable with the size 180 mm. Okay. And then number 2, this is the measurement that has been done by utility company Technic, which is they use OWTS, and the equipment is installed at van and then directly installed to this site, and then this also very expensive. And then number 3, this is the proposed method, which is measurement using a Rogowski coil, and this is the Rogowski coil that has been developed using the parameter we can see from here, and this sensor was used at every measurement, including 8 substations for the on-site measurement. So the measurement was performed at 8 locations based on report insulation resistance with the lowest low reading of insulation resistance. So from that we go and perform parallel with the utility company. This is the result for on-site measurement. Okay, number 1 shows the output result or graph that has been captured by Rogowski coil for the 8 substation. So meaning that all substation that has been measured have the partial discharge activity, only different by the level of partial activity. And then the number 2 shows the sample of apparent charge output. Actually it have 8 result also, but this one I just shows the sample conversion, which is from substation 1. This is the result under millivolt. So from that we need we insert into the MATLAB Simulink, and then we will get the output under apparent charge and the picocoulomb in order to compare with the output from a utility company. So number 3 shows the result from a utility company, and this is shows the one of the result from 8 substation, and the table below there it shows the overall result for 8 substation, and they found out that the substation 2 is the highest PD activity with 34,000 picocoulomb. From that, the comparison between the proposed method and utility company has been made, and when we can see from the graph here, so it clearly shows to us that the pattern between both methods are same for every substation, only different by the value of number. So meaning that the proposed method are significant, even though it only even though it was a very lowest cost, compared to the utility company method. And the result also was validated by 95% confidence interval. This is the research output on measurement that has been published under Scopus Journal and Proceeding. Okay, now we go to the stage number 3, which is partial discharge denoising technique. So as we can see here, number 1, we can see this is the actual data that has been measured at on-site, and from here we can see the red dotted line. It shows the noise that has been captured together the partial discharge signal. So we need to remove it in order to get the pure signal of PD. So this is the partial discharge this is PD denoising technique flowchart, which is the data from the on-site measurement has been inserted into MATLAB environment, and then we perform the denoising using DWT technique, and then we extract the features, we decompose it, we manipulate the coefficient, and then we set the threshold into soft type, and then we construct back, and after that we do the analysis under signal to noise ratio for all type of the data, and then the signal to noise ratio are based on minimum, maximum, mean and standard deviation, in order to find out which one the best to choose for denoising. And for denoising, in this work has choose 3 type muzzle flat, including of 10 level of Simulate, 10 level of Dobitschis, and 5 level of Queensland muzzle flat. This is result for denoising. So table 1, 2 and 3 shows the denoising result of using signal to noise ratio for Simulate, Dobitschis and Queensland. The highest signal to noise ratio we can see at the bold number. So this is a possible can be choose. Okay, number 4 shows the result output of denoising under Simulate muzzle flat, and we find out that Simulate number 4 is the best under Simulate family. And then number 5, this is the graph research output for denoising under Dobitschis family, and we find out that Dobitschis 2 is the best among the 10 level of Dobitschis muzzle flat family. And then number 6 shows the result denoising for Queensland muzzle flat. We find out that Queensland 2 is the best under 5 level of Queensland muzzle flat. Overall, we can say that Dobitschis 2 is the best compared to the other type of Queensland, and the level 2 is good to use for denoising based on the highest number of signal to noise ratio, and also the capability of this signal with the actual partial discharge signal. And this is the result output on denoising that has been published in Scopus Journal and also conference. Now we go to the last stage, which is partial discharge characterization. The characterization was performed under time domain and frequency domain. Okay, number 2 is this is the flowchart of a rise time characteristic, where the data from the on-site measurement has import into the MATLAB simulation, and then we plot the graph, and from that from the graph we find out the highest peak of the amplitude, and from that the coding will find the time at 10% and 90% of the signal. From that it will calculate the value of rise time of that signal. So it will repeat it for 8 times for the 8 time number of substation. So number 3 shows the zero crossing flowchart for characterization. So the flow is same with the rest time, only the coordinate for the starting. After you get the highest peak number of signal, so from that the coding will find out the time starting and time end. So from that it will calculate the value of zero crossing. So it also repeated for 8 times based on 8 number substation. So number 3 is a peak amplitude and time to peak flowchart, which is performed under statistical analysis. We call it by regression. So the data was input also in MATLAB, and then we multiply by R correlation, and then we find out the R square correlation, and then we calculate the standard error, and lastly we perform also residual analysis in order to find out the relationship between of these two parameters. So it also perform at 8 substation in order to get a whole number, the whole pattern of PD signal. And number 5 shows the flowchart of resonant frequency characterization. The data measurement was performed firstly under time domain analysis, and then we perform under FFT analysis. As we can see the figure below here. So at under FFT analysis, we need to find out the highest peak amplitude, and from that we tabulate the highest value, and then we plot the new graph in order to find out the pattern and range of partial discharge characterization. This is the result for characterization. Okay, so number 1 shows the graph of characterization in rise time, where we find out from 8 substation, we find out that the range of rise time is within 1.5 nanosecond to 5 nanosecond. So this shows to us that there is within the range, within the standard, and also same with the previous researcher, and it indicate that the highest number of rise time indicate the more severe partial discharge at that site. Okay, number 2 shows the characteristic graph and the zero crossing characterization. So from 8 substation, we find out that the range of zero crossing is between 3.3 up to 9.25 nanosecond. This zero crossing also indicate that it was within the range by the standard, and it was acceptable, and the value also indicate that the condition of the partial discharge signal can be detected. And number 3 shows the peak amplitude and time to peak characteristic, and this is sample regression result that has been performed for substation 2, and we find out that the R square is 0.6, where this is actually the highest number of R square between 8 substation. And they also perform a residual regression, and we find out that the residual shows to us that the result is scattered between positive and negative value. So that means the relationship between both parameter is not so good. So this is due to the attenuation of the signal. So number 4 show this graph bar chart of the average partial discharge signal peak amplitude under FFT, and we find out that the highest amplitude is 96.7 MHz in substation 2, where this is same with the result from utility company, which is they also find the substation number 2 is the highest. So meaning that this result is significant result. And number 5 shows the range, frequency range or resonant frequency that has been performed for characteristic here. So from here we find out that the resonant frequency range is between 9.27 up to 67.58 MHz. So this value was agreed by the standard and also better than previous researcher, where previously they find out that the range is between 5 to 60 megahertz only. So from that overall we can say that the characterization that has been performed was successful and clearly to shows to us the characteristic of the partial discharge that has been detected in on-site measurement. And this is the research output on characterization that has been published, and some of them are still under review. As a conclusion, the contribution of this project, including of modeling of real network, provide significant result, and the reading was agreed by the standard, and this model also can be used after this by the UNIMED for the partial discharge activity monitoring. And then number 2 is the trend of PD activity is measured in measured cable are significant, especially in resonant frequency and apparent charge. And then number 3, on-site measurement is good correlation between the outcome from proposed method with the outcome of electrical utility. Even though this method very low cost and very easy to install, so meaning that this was a good significant result. And number 4, the rest time was find out that it fast with small magnitude, meaning that the PD here is in the severe condition, and zero crossing in range. And then the regression analysis shows the lower percentage, and the resonant frequency are in range 4 to 200, which is it agree with IEC 0270 standard. And number 5, the which is 2 shows is the best order for Muntzer wavelet for the music of partial discharge based on on-site measurement. And then it also clearly good for future researcher for in doing denoising, which is directly can use label DB2 for the denoising. And overall, we found that the Rogowski quest sensor are capable to be used at on-site measurement instead of laboratory and simulation work only. So for the future work recommendation, number 1, the characteristic of PD signal using RC sensor can be improved, including of frequency response and PDIV and so on. And then it also good to use comprehensive data logger for a long period to have a clear vision of PD activity. So number 3, they also can design sensor with a portable because at site it have very limitation space and require a lot of movement. And it also good to apply Taguchi method using dynamic design in order to have a more robust design. And then it also suggested to use a location algorithm or partial discharge localization because right now the location was based on expertise to locate the partial discharge. And lastly, it is also good to combine several types of partial discharge sensor at the same time to find out the result for comparison. So from that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. This is some picture during measurement, and this is a list of publication. So that's all from me. Thank you.